The Giants are hot after winning 6 straight games, including a weekend sweep of the Diamondbacks. Now just 3.5 games back in the West, the defending world champs head into San Diego to take on another NL West rival. And with their core group of veteran players, the Padres are always a tough opponent for the Orange and Black. Game 1 of the series coming up next.
The road trip continues. We're in San Diego. That's right, we're at Petco Park as we get ready for Giants baseball game 1 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukos. We'd like to welcome Mike back from his extended assignment. Well, the Padres are playing great. They've won 4 straight. Giants have won 6 straight. And both teams really a lot at stake. The Padres need to figure out what they're going to do before the trading deadline. The Giants are trying to catch the Dodgers. So it's Hudson on the hill.
Well, and Hudson coming off of the disabled list. Tim Hudson had old itis in his arm, just lost strength basically. The time on the disabled list has brought strength back into his shoulder. His rehab starts have been fantastic. The bite is back on the sinker and the slider. And he'll face an old nemesis of the Giants, Ian Kennedy. A lot at stake here for both teams this week. And both teams are playing well with confidence. And I think you're going to see a playoff-type atmosphere in the way they go about it.
A lot of fans here, a lot of Giants fans here tonight here at Petco Park, as you would expect. Great matchup. Hudson, Kennedy. Kennedy's 10-5 lifetime against the Giants. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update right after this.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get the new steak and egg breakfast burrito at Jack in the Box. It's not your basic breakfast burrito. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Ian Kennedy leads the Padres out of their dugout. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 74 degrees here at the yard. Winds are calm. Humidity is high. And it is overcast and foggy, believe it or not. So here's Bruce Bochy's lineup facing Ian Kennedy. It'll be Pagan, Panik, and Duffy. Buster Posey, not only red hot, but he's got good numbers against Kennedy. Hence will be in the 5th slot. Then it's Bell, Crawford, and Blanco. And Hudson will hit in the 9th spot.
On the hill tonight for the San Diego Padres will be the veteran right-hander Ian Kennedy. Kennedy, a 6-year veteran, 6 feet tall, 200-pounder. He's 30 years of age, out of Scottsdale, Arizona. 17 starts. This will be a 17th start. He's 4.9 with a 4.91 ERA. And you're going to see a fastball that goes the low 90s to mid 90s, depending on how he holds it. He will two-seam, he will four-seam it. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. He'll throw anything at any time. But at times he'll ride that fastball. He has exceptional corner command with the fastball. Against the Giants' lifetime, he is 10-5 with a 2.38 ERA. So he has always done well against San Francisco. However, earlier this year, last time the Giants saw him, they torched him. Got 6 runs off him in 6 innings, and he was the losing pitcher in that ball game. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Kennedy tonight for the Padres. Starting their outfield from left to right, it'll be Venable, Upton, and Kemp. Good arms across the board for the Padres in the outfield. Amarista and Solarte on the left side of the infield. Jerko and Alonso on the right side. And Derek Norris, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Angel Pagan to lead things off. Pagan hitting at 269. And the first pitch of the ball game is underway, and it's a called strike. So we get started at 7:11. Pagan with 24 runs batted in. He went 3 for 14 in Arizona. Here he shoots it foul, and it's 0-2. Behind home plate is Clint Fagan. Then it's Fairchild Holbrook, and the crew chief, Greg Gibson, is at third.
Now for Fagan, the good news is that he's a low ball umpire. He likes that knee-high strike, and for sinker ballers like Hudson, that's a plus. His zone is very tight. He will call a few high pitches now and then. But like I said, it's tight, not big corners. If you were to rate Fagan a hitter's umpire or pitcher's umpire, you'd say he's a hitter's umpire.
So 1-2 to Pagan with Panik to follow. And he shoots it out of play. Braves beat the Dodgers tonight. They beat them by a final of 7-5. It's always newsworthy. Probably wouldn't have mentioned it if the Dodgers would have won.
Yeah, we tend to ignore those days.
And Kennedy, and the 1-2 pitch is hit on the ground, backhanded nicely by Amarista, and he throws him out. Well, that's how this game gets started.
Well, that's the big leagues. Angel Pagan does everything right, hits a one-hop topspin bullet right to Amarista, who goes to his backhand, spins in a 360 and flat-footed, throws a little rainbow to first. He gets him just in time. That took away a hit. Nice play.
So here's Panik. Panik at 315. An all-star. And he takes a strike. He has had a tough time, however, against Kennedy. He's only 1 for 14 lifetime.
I find that a bit odd, as well as Panik defends the strike zone. And Kennedy's always around the plate.
Kennedy's wanting those pitches, and I don't blame him.
Well, he's used to getting them from other umpires, but you're not going to get big corners with Fagan, the plate umpire tonight.
Hit into left center field, but plenty of room for Venable. 2 out. And here's Giants third baseman Matt Duffy. Duffy hanging around the 300 mark. He's at 299. He was 6 for 15 in that series in Arizona. 6 for 15, and that's going 0 for 3 yesterday. So he had those 6 hits in the first 2 games. And a strike. 2 for 5 in his career against Kennedy.
And that 0 for 3 he had yesterday was a pretty hard 0 for 3. And there is such a thing. Hit the ball hard, but right at people. But Matt Duffy could hit. But he was not looking for a fastball in the first 2 pitches.
So it's a quick 0-2. And then he chased a bad pitch, and that'll end the inning. Hudson coming out. 0-0. Younger v. Solarte to lead things off, followed by Amarista, and then Matt Kemp. And Kemp is starting to swing the bat, followed by Jed Jerko. Remember, no Justin Upton, Alonso, and then Derek Norris. Max and Molly's kid will hit 7th, then Upton Jr., and then Ian Kennedy.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the 4-time All-Star, right-hander Tim Hudson. Hudson, 40 years old, 6'1", 175-pounder, and this is what he has done in 15 starts. Just got activated off the disabled list, missed 17 days. 5-7 with a 4.68 ERA. When you take your bats against Hudson, you're going to see a fastball, mostly sinkers. He will four seam on occasion. He has a hard slider. He'll give you a curveball and 2 types of off-speed changeup and a split, depending on what feels good that night.
So Solarte, who moves around the diamond defensively, is at third base tonight. Hitting .245, 5 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Super utility. And those guys now have become very valuable at teams. This is hooked down the right field line, and it's going to be a base hit.
Take a look at the Giants defense playing behind Hudson tonight, starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Blanco, Pagan, and Pence, the best arm in right field. Crawford and Duffy will patrol the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt will be on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
So here's Amarista. Amarista, always a tough out for the Giants, hitting at .206, 2 home runs, 19 driven in.
Ooh, that was close. Hudson's got a quick move to first base.
In at third is Duffy. Crawford in panic at double play depth. And it's wide on the first pitch. 1 ball and no strikes.
Hudson's always done well against the Padres. Lifetime 7-4 with a 2.89 ERA. Thrown 112 innings against the Padres in his lifetime. I mean, that's half a season.
Not close. So out of the stretch, problematic right now. 2-0.
Well, he's pumped up. I mean, even a guy in his 17th year still gets psyched up coming off the DL, making a start, being able to play again. And that front shoulder just flew wide open on that last pitch. And Hudson kind of shaking his head a little bit as if to say, is there an outside corner tonight? So both pitchers aware that the strike zone is going to be tight tonight, especially away to left-handers.
And that's a 4-pitch walk.
And that was an easy take.
Well, the first series here, Hudson got the benefit of a number of double plays. This was a nice play by Casey McGee, and this was Crawford working some magic. So here's Kemp. Kemp cannot hold up. So there's a good pitch from Hudson, and it's 0-1.
That's a nice quick slider. He did not have that type of bite on the slider prior to going on the disabled list. He said his problem and what put him on the DL was old itis. And simply put, his arm just got tired. And it happens when you're 39, 40 years old. Man, it's a good pitch. Back towards this little fastball in the outside corner. I mean, that's a strike. And you're just not going to get it with Fagan. I mean, that's why I say he's a hitter's umpire. But you will see Bochy and Dave Righetti barking at the umpire tonight.
So 2 balls and 1 strike.
And this becomes a big pitch. The first inning, you're trying to find your release point out of the windup, and if the case presents itself, out of the stretch. But you're also figuring out what the strike zone is going to be that night. And it's that time where you're a little vulnerable. You're not quite sure your release point, and if you've got a tight zone, it can make it tough.
Hit out to Pagan. Solarte goes back to tag, but decides not to go. And a big out for Hudson. And here's Jerko. Jerko hitting at 225. He's a big swing uppercut guy that can hit the ball a long way. And with Upton out, Jerko gets the call to hit in the cleanup spot. So Solarte at second, Amarista at first. A 1 ball and no strikes, just missed.
That was a slider, just sort of squirted out of his hand. Right over the head of Jerko. But Jerko knows by seeing the spin of the ball and the speed of the ball that it was not a purpose pitch.
Two 2-0. First inning, you never know with pitchers. It could be the most problematic of all the innings you throw.
He's not out front with his release right now. And that is genuine concern from the face of Dave Righetti. It is just a problem of not keeping that front side closed long enough to allow your arm to get up in proper position to get out front to where you have command of the strike zone, especially down around the knees.
Right down Broadway. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Jerko took that one. He'll not take the next one thrown there. Amarista is so far off the bag that on a double play ball, he might be able to turn to double play better than panic. The 3-1 slider, and it kind of buckled Jerko. He was not looking for a breaking ball there. He was sitting on dead red, looking for a mistake up. How do you hit sacred ballers? You look up. And right now, that's where Hudson is. He needs to get down around the knees, but right now, he needs to find the strike zone. Tap foul. Roster move made today. Hudson had to be activated. So Gene Machi was designated for assignment. Hopefully he will get through waivers and stay in this organization. He might prefer that.
Very emotional day in the Giants clubhouse.
Solarte, Amarista on the bases. Foul back again.
I mean, one thing about Hudson, even with his 2-seam fastball up, he still has movement. That ball ran up the bat of a quick fastball hitter. Jet Jerko, middle innings, very quick. And seeing the movement of that fastball run up off the sweet spot towards the label, I mean, that's the good thing about what's happening tonight with Hudson. The area of concern is, can he start to locate better locations?
Runners do not go, and he just got a piece off the shin guard of Buster Posey. And Hudson's back to throwing strikes or getting the ball in the strike zone. Fortunately, he doesn't have a count where he can throw one out of the strike zone to see if he can get Jerko to swing.
I mean, there is an open third, but with one out, you can't use it. You can't throw one out of the strike zone and hope he chases. If it was 2 outs, it was different, but with 1 out, you can't do it.
Got him.
And that's exactly what he did. He goes with a slider, starts it on the outside corner, it snaps away with good quickness, and Jerko goes right out and chases, and that's a huge out. That was a 9-pitch at bat.
It was a Jerko, you could tell 3-2, he was in the swing mode. But you don't know that if you're Hudson or Posey. So here's Yonder Alonso.
Now you have a base to play with. The walk here is not the end of the world. So he can go after as to whoever he wants to go after. Alonso or Derek Norris, guy on deck.
Alonso with 2 home runs, 20 driven in. Big guy. He does have power.
He likes that ball up.
He's only had 10 at bats against Hudson. He does have 3 hits.
Pitches. So it has been a stressful inning for Hudson. Good pitch. Good take.
Not in the spot that he was with Jerko. As Mike said, he does have a base to play with.
And Alonso will green light here. He'll swing. And I just don't think Hudson's going to lay one in there. Not with an open base. Doesn't have to.
So the walk. And here's Derek Norris. Norris has cooled off since the Giants last saw him, but he's still a good hitter. Norris at 234. He's got 11 home runs. He's got 45 runs batted in. One ball and no strikes. He's faced Hudson only 3 times. He's 0 for 3. So getting strike one has been problematic for Tim Hudson. But he can still wiggle out of this inning. One ball and one strike.
Right now, that slider's his best friend. It's got good snap to it. The pitch he struck out Jerko. And here in a 1-0 count with the bases loaded, he was not afraid to throw that thing, and he put it in a perfect spot and evens the count with it on a swing through.
The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Starting to find the knees now. The ball is starting to lower. You know, he's 26 pitches into his outing, and it's taken him that long to find the low part of the strike zone. That's where he needs to be.
If he comes back with a slider. 2-2.
He does, and a good one, and another swing through.
Tight.
I mean, right on the outside corner, and the snap has got a little tilt to it too. It's got some downward bite.
The panic, and Hudson gets out of the mess, and a nice play by Crawford, and the Padres strand to 3. Killing me.
do you say we take a look at our forward right choice? That would be the play for Brandon Crawford to end it. A 1-hop, 2-hop, bullet, little flip to Joe Panik. They get the force at second base. And that, folks, is a pitcher's best friend. A Gold Glove caliber shortstop. That's our forward right choice.
So here's Buster Posey. Buster to lead things off, hitting at .317. So he's got that average up. Five for 12 in Arizona. He had 4 RBIs in that 3-game series. He's got 63 total. (2-0) against Kennedy. He's faced Kennedy 40 times. And you can see what he's done. (3-0). A little respect. Pence to follow, and then Belt just underway here in San Diego. Wet San Diego. They got rained out last night. Out of play.
Healthy 3-0 count. Buster Posey in July, you can see what he did. He was red hot average wise, on base percentage, slugging percentage. I mean, he finally really got his lower foundation going. A lot of the reach that he had early in the year is gone.
This is tap foul.
Think back a lot of the swings that he had on balls on the outside part of the plate. His legs were not underneath him. He would get hits. He'd hit the ball the right side of the field, but Bam Bam Ulitz, a lot of hard work. Now that foundation's starting to get solid. He's driving the outside pitch. And he is officially hot.
And it's tap foul again. Roberto Kelly will do the honors. Right in the section where there's a whole bunch of Giants fans.
Found a good home. You got one of these?
He ticked off that guy's wife, or that guy's husband. What are you doing? Slowly hit. Amarista charging, throwing, got him. It is catcher's legs in July.
Well, he's also got a tender hamstring. He's still not going 100%, but he looked to me like this is pretty close to 100%. He was sniffing a knock there. One thing about Amarista, I mean, once he gets his hands on it, he's got a real good arm.
Giants did take a look at it, but you could tell from up here that Buster Posey was out. So here's Pence. So a nice comeback for Kennedy. Remember, he fell behind Buster 3-0. Pence hitting .298, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. 5 for 12 in Phoenix. Hit the big home run on Friday night.
I still marvel at what he did coming off a disabled list and not going to a rehab, getting the at-bats. Just show up at the big leagues and start hacking and start performing. Pretty remarkable. You mentioned the success he had over the weekend in Arizona. He was a difference maker.
Drives one to center field. Upton on the move. Now with room, and he'll put it away. Hayes will be in town when the Giants get back home Saturday the 25th. The first 30,000 fans are going to receive a Hunter Pence gnome courtesy of Blue Shield of California. Get your tickets at sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Belt. They're going to overshift with Belt, but they're going to put Solarte to the right of second base. And Bell with a bunt, and Belt's going to have a base hit.
It just looks so easy.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Hey, timeout. You want the ball? Bam Bam Euland's Giants hitting instructor. And this is something they've been talking about, and they actually work on it. And they're going to put a shift on you, and they're going to expose that. Take it, especially with no outs or 1 out. I mean, here he does it with 2 outs. Still a nice play.
Well, it might make the Padres think twice about doing it again. And Crawford's got the chance to knock one out of the park. He's got 12 on the year. And he's tardy on this one, and it's 0-1.
And the only thing about that little bunt there, right there, I mean, with 2 outs, I mean, it was entertaining, but for a guy that can hit the ball in the ballpark, that's the time to start yanking. Try and hit 1 out. I mean, I would like to see that play in a no-out, 1-out situation. To me, it makes more sense.
Well, I think if Brennan's, I was thinking, I haven't gotten any hits in the last month. I'm going to get one whether I like it or not.
Well, it's something that every scout below us, their heads dropped down and immediately they started writing into their log. So things have a tendency to get around the league quickly when you do something like that. And it did go noticed.
Low to Crawford with Blanco on deck.
I think it's a really good play to start an inning out.
Crawford out of play. It's 1-2.
We look out from our vantage point across the field, and you can see fog. Really low clouds here in San Diego. The weather has just been as weird could be. Yesterday they were rained out of their game with the Colorado Rockies. Rained out in July.
Two and 2 with Crawford. Yes, the Angels and Red Sox were rained out last night
in Anaheim.
And that game wasn't in Boston either. No rain tonight, just a bit of a foggy night. Crawford pops it back and out of play. That got in on his hands. The game had gone into the 4th inning, and this is when Joe was tired of getting wet. They don't have to do this very often here. Matter of fact, I don't even know where the tarp is here.
Well, they had to break out the manual as to how to put the tarp on correctly. Nice play by Alonso to keep that ball from going down the right field line. That was a horrible throw from Ian Kennedy in first base.
That's the play you're talking about. I'm watching it, Mike. They put that tarp on straight.
See, teams on the West Coast could do it.
I was not baiting you. Just we're thinking along the same lines.
You're going to get me in trouble.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Venable, Upton, Kennedy coming up.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Pixels in theaters July 24th.
Well, the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit, it's the largest on-air team of investigative journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. You can watch award-winning stories that have helped make the Bay Area a better place at NBCBayArea.com/investigations.
And a strike to Will Venable, who's hitting .256, 6 home runs, 22 driven in. Duffy in at third. And on the appeal, Greg Gibson says, no. I will not call a swing on Max and Molly's kid. Not now anyway.
Hudson's starting to get the ball down.
And a strike. 1 and 2.
So kind of running Venable through the guard. First pitch sinker, second pitch slider, third pitch changeup. 3 pitches, 3 different pitches.
Look out. It's 2 and 2. That's one where you want Venable to get the heck out of the way to lead off an inning. You don't want to hit him.
Yeah, not a 1-2 count with a breaking ball.
Got him.
Dropped it right below the hands. Venable has a flat swing, and he has had a hole on that inside corner with sharp breaking balls. Another swing through on a slider from Venable, or from Tim Hudson rather. It just gives you an idea of how good that slider is, how much better it is now than it was prior to going on the DL.
So here's Upton Jr. He's a 203 hitter. He's a swing and a miss guy, but you put one in the wrong spot and he's going to launch it. He did it to the Giants in Atlanta last year.
He's got a happy zone that's middle in, about knee high, a little bit above the knee, and he'll hit it as far as anybody. And the 2-0 count, I mean, he will try and knock one in the third deck here.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Think about Upton. He's a swing and miss guy. He swings a lot. He misses a lot. But he is dangerous.
Crawford on a big hop on the third hop, and Crawford's going to throw him out. So with 2 outs, here's Kennedy, the pitcher. Kennedy only 2 hits and 22 at, to make that 21 at bats.
One of the faithful across the street. I'd say about the 10th floor up on that high rise. When the Giants comes to town, it's like Christmas Day.
Line drive. Side retired. Blanco, Hudson, Pagan, maybe more coming up. Justin Maxwell's day yesterday. Hit a home run in the second inning, put the Giants on the board, and then he made a great diving catch in the fifth, and that helped everybody out on an afternoon where there wasn't going to be any runs scored, so you better play some defense. And Maxwell hit the big fly and played some defense, and that's our Togo's big play. Today, he gets to put his hands behind his head and say, yeah, I was awesome yesterday. I'm going to relax tonight.
Well, that is the life of being a bitch player. I mean, you get 3 hits, home run, make 2 great plays, and guess what? Next night you have a seat, and it can frustrate you.
So here's Blanco. Blanco wraps one to right. Kemp looking up. It is out of here. Off the top of the wall. 1-0 Giants. And listen to the Giants fans here at AT&T South. I had that ball hitting off the wall.
I had it one hop at the wall. Challenge fastball right out over the middle of the plate at the belt, and he just puts a loud charge into it.
That's Hudson swings isn't it?
Strike one. Indeed it is. Boy, has he really turned himself around. His swing is so different now than it was at the start of the season.
Hudson shoots this one foul.
Hoo-ah. Let's take a look at it. I mean, it was loud contact. And there's the backspin. And we just watched Kemp. He just kind of positioned himself to play the carom. And watch Maxwell. I think he knew it from the sound it was going to have a chance.
So Hudson out on 3 pitches. If I'm Hudson, I'm taking that. Go back, go rest.
Not a problem. Home run number 3 for Gregor Blanco. Bam Bam Mullins giving a big hug.
You know, that almost makes you think that they had a conversation before he walked up there.
You're right. Maybe it was Bam Bam who said look for something up, out over the plate and hard.
Not be shocked by that. Here's Pagan who takes this one. Pagan hit a ball sharply to Amarista, who made a nice backhand play.
Yeah, that was a 2-strike at bat too. It was a good AB. For Kennedy, that's the 21st home run that he has given up. That's a lot.
Vanek to follow. And tight. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I mean, ideally, if you're giving up 10 home runs every 100 innings you pitch, I mean, that's acceptable. That's not bad. He's given up 21 in 86 innings. That's a lot. And this is a big ballpark. This is not a home run field.
So Norris and Kennedy trying to get on the same page. Up the middle. And a base hit. So Pagan aboard, and that'll bring up Panik. See the most home runs allowed in the National League. And Kennedy is indeed on that list, and his teammates right behind him.
And look at the top 3 guys. I mean, Kendrick in Colorado, De La Rosa in Arizona, Loesch in Milwaukee. Those are all hitters' ballparks. For Kennedy and Shields to have that many home runs here in San Diego, that's a lot.
Panik hit a fly ball to left field in the first inning. Here he pops it up into the fog. Who's going to call for it? It's Amarista. 2 outs. Duffy. Duffy on 3 pitches struck out in the first. Think about Duffy. That last strikeout where he took 2 fastballs, swung at a slider, he takes those at bats personal.
Well,
some guys might just, you know, all right, I'm going to forget about it. He does not forget about it.
Plus, he's in Southern California. I mean, he's from Long Beach, which is up the street, about an hour and a half. So I got to believe a lot of family and friends are down here watching Matt Duffy play. And when he has a 3-pitch see ya, a strikeout, his first at bat, you bet he's grinding.
And a high fastball, and it's 1-0. Buster Posey on deck as he's chalking up in the on deck circle. Driven to right, and Kemp is right there, and that's going to end the inning. So Blanco puts the Giants on the board. Home run number 3, and it's bye-bye baby. Maxwell says, get out. And it does. 1-0 Giants.
Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Giants with a 1-0 lead. Here's Solarte, who shows bunt, and he takes it for a strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Solarte, and he taps it. Oh, this is now going to be trouble. Crawford swings it to first, and they got him. I guarantee you Hudson thought when that ball got by him that was going to be a hit.
Well, I guarantee you, I thought once it got over the head of Hudson it was going to be a base hit.
I believe you're right.
But watch the exchange from glove hand to bare hand off the right foot. I mean, it's so quick. And it had to be quick. And in the end, a guy who has good speed is denied what we thought was going to be a sure thing infield base hit. Wasn't even close. Beautiful play.
Here's Amarista. Another look at.
I mean, this is slow motion. You can see going down touching the ground with your glove and then coming up into an exchange and then getting a quick sling off. That's Brandon Crawford is what that is.
The other thing too, Mike, is you really have to glove it with one hand. You cannot go down with two hands, because try running with two hands near the ground. You're going to fall over if you go that fast. So you have to glove it with one hand.
I never thought of it that way.
See how he comes in? And then he has to make the exchange very quickly, obviously, but you can't have the glove hand and the throwing hand together when you make that play. Three and one.
Well, he's got such soft hands, such quick hands, and such strong legs. It's just a great combination.
And a walk.
Well, Giants fans and parents of our young Giants fans with peanut allergies, 2 more peanut allergy-friendly games are available this summer, July 27th and September 18th. So come out to AT&T Park and sit in a designated section worry-free for being exposed to peanuts. Go to smgiants.com/special events to purchase tickets and to learn more about this special program.
So here's Kemp. Yeah, we have to keep an eye on these two.
I think he's doing pretty good.
Kemp lined out to center field in the first. Lines another one into right center field. Pagan's not going to get it, and it is gone. Shades of Matt Kemp from years past as he goes to the deepest part of the ballpark, and the Padres take the lead.
Well, as you said at the start of the broadcast, Matt Kemp has been hot. And this is shades of what he did when he was one of the premier players in the league. That is an inside location. He inside outs, and he takes on right center field here at a very tough ballpark to hit home runs to that side of the yard with, especially off the bat of a right-handed hitter.
So here's Jerko. Giants is happy he didn't do that in the first inning. Jerko struck out in the first. So each team now with a big fly. The difference, the Padres with a runner on. Jerko takes a strike. You can see Fagan's strike zone now started to widen up a bit.
Now it needed to from what we saw in the first inning. Mark Kotsay on your right there, the hitting instructor for the Padres. Talking it over with Matt Kemp. Glad to see Kotsay stay in the game. He was a great player.
Jerko with a big chopper foul.
There's Mark Kotsay. Went to Fullerton State. He was the college player of the year, and he was a pitching prospect as well as a hitting prospect. Played a long time. Dave Roberts, our old pal.
Tap foul again. Here you see Pat Murphy's staff. Aaron Balsley, he's been here a long time. Kotsay. Dave Roberts, Glenn Huff has been here a long time as well.
That's good staff.
Crawford's going to feel this near the bag. Jerko's retired. And here's Yonder Alonso. Alonso drew a walk in the first inning. And he fouls it back on a challenge fastball, and it's 0-1.
He likes that first pitch. I mean, he's one of those guys I think stays on the fastball throughout most of his at-bats. As we mentioned earlier, he's a high ball hitter. Likes the ball up. But he's a good fastball hitter, and it's hard to surprise him with a fastball.
And the next pitch is just a bit low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Ideally, I would think the Giants would like to see about 85, between 80 and 90 pitches tonight from Hudson.
Out of play. 1-2.
But it does figure to be a game where you're going to see the bullpen throw at least 3 innings. As they bring Hudson back off the disabled list. 17 days on the DL.
Spent the All-Star break in Tahoe. Had the whole gang with him. 1-2 pitch. Here it is to Alonso. And it's high. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And this is off of Buster Posey, and that dinged him a little bit. It remains 2-2. Think about Buster's 3 games in Arizona. Right off the toe, the left toe. Had a scheduled day off on Saturday. Things were looking good until Andrew Susac sprained his thumb sliding into third base. The DL for Susac after Sanchez back up and Posey doing all the work in Phoenix. But we're reaching that time of the year, right?
Yeah. He didn't really get much of a break for the All-Star game. Granted, he didn't catch the whole All-Star game, but really set everybody's legs back. And they came back from the All-Star break, played Friday night, extra inning ball game against the D-backs. That was over a 5-hour ball game, and a lot of pitches thrown. And Posey caught every bit of that game.
Giants contingency that went to Cincinnati from San Francisco. There was about 50 or 60 that traveled on the Giants plane. And they arrived around 4 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So that's when the All-Star break started for Buster Posey. And for Joe Paddock. And for Madison Bumgarner.
The other thing, too, is dealing with the adrenaline you have from the All-Star game. It is a surge of adrenaline that you don't get on opening day games or Dodger series or playoff games. I mean, it's a different deal. And you pay for it 3 or 4 days after the All-Star game. We watched it happen to Madison Bumgarner yesterday. I mean, he said, I got tired. I was fatigued. And it was the adrenaline hit he took on Tuesday.
Right center field hit well. And a one-hopper off the wall, so it'll be a double. My goodness. I thought that ball was gone.
I thought he hit that one better than the one that Kemp hit. And I think the difference was that Kemp had more backspin on his ball. He got more carry. But what an at-bat from Alonso. I mean, he sees a lot of pitches, and then on a 3-2 pitch, takes it right to the base of the right center field fence.
I don't know if he can hit a ball better than that.
Giants catch a break that stayed in the yard.
so people realize, I didn't forget Brandon Crawford was on that plane as well. So they all got back in the early morning. And then the next day they had a workout in Arizona. There's a pitch high to Norris. Norris bounced out to Crawford to end the first. He did that by leaving the bases full. It's 2-1 Padres here in the third inning. There's a pitch that Hudson used so effectively against Norris in the first inning.
Now, as long as he keeps that thing off the plate away, Norris is swinging through it. He threw a 3-2 slider or a 2-strike slider to Norris that he had absolutely on the nose, a 2-hop bullet to Crawford that ended things for the Padres in the first inning.
1-2.
Keeps that thing away, and it's a swing and miss pitch. That's the fourth time he's swung at sliders from Hudson that he has completely missed. And that's a perfect location. So a fastball up and away to sort of cleanse the palate of the eye for Norris. And I'm sure he wants to come back and throw another slider in that outside corner. So the guy swinging and missing, you got to keep throwing him. But don't leave it middle in.
As good as a strikeout as this is popped to Panic, that's going to end the inning. Kemp's home run gives the Padres the lead. It'll be the beat coming up. It's 2-1 San Diego.
Brought to you by the new movie Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, in theaters everywhere July 24th.
Well, watch live TV now with the NBC Bay Area app. You can see breaking news and investigations from NBC Bay Area News, plus your favorite NBC shows live and on demand. Simply download the NBC Bay Area app, select Watch Live TV Now from the menu, register, and you are good to go.
I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to get that.
Here's Posey. Posey on the ground to short. And Marista off balance throw wide, and Alonso tags out Posey. So Buster's thinking, I'm tired of running hard down the line. He had to do it in the second inning. So 1 out, and here's Pence.
Amarista's made 2 nice plays to send him back to the dugout.
Pence hit a fly ball to center field in the second. On deck is Brandon Belt. In the dirt and almost to the backstop. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 games here and then a day off Thursday, and then the Giants will welcome in the A's on Friday night.
There's a gamer, babe. You can just tell.
Not a strike the first inning. It is now. It's 1-2. Pence wraps it on the ground, and Marista couldn't hang on to it. He had everything under control, almost.
Well, what's your old saying about nothing routine about a routine play? You would think that a one-hopper that comes up around the belt of a middle infielder or any infielder is going to be slam dunk, and then the exchange.
Yeah, look, I don't think any ground balls are easy, but of all the chances he's had, that's the easiest one. Yeah, that's the one where he had the most time. So here's Belt.
Who put the Vaseline on the hard ball?
Belt off of Norris. It got him somewhere, and it's 0-1.
That's one he's going to feel tomorrow. Right below the.
That really is like having no padding at all.
You know, when he hits a bone up around your shoulder, that pad doesn't do much. Better than nothing, but that hurt.
Been high to Belt. Belt bunted his way on in the second.
That's right where he wanted to throw that thing. He's trying to get in tight at the belt with something hard.
No overshift, but Amarista's playing almost directly behind second base.
Well, with the bunt that he had in the first inning against a dramatic shift, I mean, he softened that shift up. And he has definitely created more space on the right side of the infield for base hits. From that perspective, that bunt was a hit.
Nope. Yes. Bruce Bochy's barking big time.
Well, he should. It's been a very inconsistent strike zone tonight. I don't think anybody knows what it is. It is the 4th inning. By now, you should know what a strike is at the belt and at the knees and on each corner.
Kennedy unhappy with that. 3-2.
Well, you are. You have a 2-2 pitch, and it's your opportunity, if you're a control guy like Kennedy is, to go out of the strike zone, and that was just up and away, an easy take. So you kind of waste an opportunity to tease a guy. Now you've got to get in the strike zone. One run lead, you can't afford to walk somebody into scoring position with 1 out.
Pence goes. And he walked him.
And that was not that far away from the pitch that was called a strike.
Well, Bell took it very confident. I agree with you. I'm not so confident.
I mean, that is very close to the pitch that was called a second strike in Bell's at bat.
So here's Crawford. Crawford's had 30 lifetime at bats against Kennedy. He's 8 for 30. Pops this one up. That'll be playable for Amarista. That's 2 outs. So here's Blanco. We'll see if they give Blanco anything to hit. That's why the at bat to Crawford's so important, because now Kennedy can play around with whatever he wants. It's a home run by Blanco in the 3rd.
And he just smothered a challenge fastball at the belt. Lined it over the wall in right field. That's not an easy thing to do in this ballpark, even after they brought the fences in.
So Hudson's due to hit next. Ball's going to strike. Didn't throw many curveballs, but he did there.
Hunter Pitts plays baseball like his hair's on fire. Yeah, I agree with that. That's one that a lot of times a catcher will take it away from pitchers by the way he catches it, but I think Fagan's strike was a good one. I think it was there.
Well, yeah, you got to give credit to Fagan for hanging in there with that.
Clint Fagan, the plate umpire. A lot easier to get crossed up looking for a fastball and getting a breaking ball than the other way.
So 0-2 to Blanco. In the dirt.
Curveball, curveball, curveball. So I think if we would swing the bat, Gregor Blanco convinced Ian Kennedy that he could hit a fastball. Hadn't seen one since.
Pence at second, Belt at first. 4th inning. Got him. They're not letting the inning. Venable will lead things off. It's 2-1 Padres.
AT&T U-verse Rewind. We go back to June 8th, 1999. A's taking on the Padres, and Tim Hudson making his major league debut. And that night against the Padres, went 5 innings, allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. He got a no decision, and oh yeah, by the way, he got his first big league knock off of Heath Murray. And that's our AT&T U-verse Rewind. Most career wins for active pitchers. Well, Tim Hudson would be on top of that ladder. 219 wins. Bartolo Colon, CC Sabathia, Mark Burley, all 200-game winners. That's a good career.
Here's Venable. Venable with a swing. Venable struck out to open up the second inning. 2-1 lead for the Padres. Blanco home run solo. Kemp a home run with a man aboard. Tap foul. It's 0-2 for pitch count wise for Hudson. He's got 70, so that's a bit too much. But I don't believe that Dave Righetti and Bruce Bochy felt like Hudson was going to throw a complete game tonight. Outside for 1-2.
Well, they'd like to see a clean inning like he had in the second inning. So 1-2-3 inning. Struck out Will Venable back then, who also led off the inning as he was doing now. But stress throws. How many throws you make out of the stretch position with men on base that was stressful? I mean, those are the things you really concern yourself with if you're Bruce Bochy or Dave Righetti. Guy coming off a DL, hasn't been out there for 17 days. I mean, those are the things that really go deep into your gas tank.
Oh, 2 to 3-2 with Upton on deck and then Kennedy. You mentioned earlier the Braves beat the Dodgers tonight. Venable on the ground on one hop. Duffy wrestles this one and throws. Duffy just happened to be playing in the right spot. And that'll bring up Upton.
You're right. I mean, it was a hanging breaking ball that Venable did a nice job of going the other way. He did everything right as a hitter. But Ron Wotus, nice job putting Matt Duffy exactly where you put him, because any other place it probably would have been a knock. There's Ronnie Wowo.
In tight to Upton.
Chicago on the north side, they have Ronnie Woo-Woo. San Francisco, we have Ronnie Wowo.
There's that wide strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Ronnie Woo-Woo's kind of a cartoon. Ronnie Wotus, far from that.
Far from that.
He's been a good Giants coach for a long time. And a swing, says Chad Fairchild.
Well, it kind of amazes me that he hasn't been a manager yet, because he'd be a good one.
Just a bit outside, 2-2. Hudson will lead things off for the Giants in the 5th inning. This is a park where Giants have done okay here, but the one thing that they don't do here is score a lot of runs. If they beat the Padres here, it's always tight, low-scoring games. If they lose to the Padres, it's always tight and low-scoring games. And that's exactly what this one is.
28 pitches in the first, 29 in the third. Next pitch he throws is going to be number 80.
Down the right field line. Is this trouble? It is foul. And the speed of Upton, that likely would have been a triple, maybe more. So how's the night going or the day going for the Red Sox? They lost 11-1 this afternoon, and they're getting shut out 6-0 tonight in LA.
They are not having any fun.
They are not having any fun. Remember, that game got rained out yesterday, so a doubleheader today. Angels are playing pretty good baseball. Giants caught them at the right time.
Yes, they did.
Breaking ball pulled on the ground, a foul. You know, we've said this many times, but a lot of success you have against a team is when are you playing them?
Oh, that's everything.
Giants swept them at home in a 3-game series.
Well, the Giants really catch a break tonight coming into San Diego, not having to face Justin Upton. He has an oblique problem. It's keeping him out of the lineup for we don't know how long, but he was not in the lineup today. And when he's not in the lineup, I mean, that's a big absence of offense. It's Justin Upton.
And he'll watch his brother strike out swinging. Here's the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to #CSNBA. Data Strong Fan, and you might just see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. This is Brian, who tweets, took a family photo with 3 World Series trophies at AT&T Park. Yes, you did. And that's a good looking group.
Yeah, it is.
It's always good to take a picture with the triplets. Here's Kennedy, who takes low. There was a time when that long ago, like what, maybe 6 years ago?
Yeah.
It would just be a family picture.
Yeah, there'd be no trophies.
Be in there with Lucille. Not that that's a bad thing.
No. But now we have the triplets.
Tap slowly. This is going to be a tough play. Posey calls off Hudson, and he throws him out. Great play. Hudson says thank you very much, and he will lead things off. It's 2-1 Padres. Gaylord Perry hit the first home run of his career off of Claude Osteen. The home run allegedly occurred an hour after Apollo 11 landed on the moon. The funny thing about it was in 1963, Gaylord's manager, Alvin Dark, said, well, they will put a man on the moon before he hits a home run. Way to go, Alvin. Nice call.
Hey, that's a good scout report. Alvin Dark was third base coach, part of Herbert Frank's coaching staff when I was a rookie in Chicago with the Cubs. He was a great baseball man. Knew the game.
So Hudson's going to lead things off. Hudson struck out in the third inning. Hudson trying to get on for Pagan. And it's a strike. What happened to that tight strike zone?
You're right. It's just all over the place. That's the first time that location's been called a strike.
I don't blame Kennedy for going back out there.
We had a game about 3 weeks ago, and the umpire that particular night was just not having a good night. And it was even written about the next day. Players were upset, managers, coaches, everybody was upset.
Tap to Jerko.
The next day we saw Eddie Montague, and he said the way that strike zone graded out, he had 99% of the strikes called correctly. And it absolutely blew our minds. Plate umpires get graded after every outing they have behind home plate. So after this game, Clint Fagan will have a report card on how good his strike zone was.
My only comment to that is, why would we start believing Eddie Montague right now? Seriously. So here's Pagan. Pagan takes a strike and it's 0-1. Because I don't care how they grade it. That night you're talking about, some of those pitches were not strikes.
Yeah, it was a rough night. But it happens. I mean, and it's happening tonight. This has been an inconsistent strike zone.
Pagan fouls it back. It's 0-2.
But it's part of it. I mean, umpires are people. They're going to have good days. They're going to have days that are not so good.
Don't panic to follow. We're in the 5th inning. And that's a swing. So Pagan's gone.
Well, fun at the old yard brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. Indeed, they were lighted up here at the ballpark day, Little League Day, a parade on the field. Angel Pagan signing autographs before the game. Oh, yeah. Lots of Little Leaguers. Giants fans, as always, have showed up in great numbers, and that is our fun at the ballpark brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. We'll trade my brother to meet Hunter.
Here's Panic. And Panic takes a strike. Five strikeouts now for Kennedy. Panic is flied out and he's popped out.
Now, we haven't seen that girl's brother, but we do know that meeting Hunter Pence is pretty unique.
Derek Norris has got 8 brothers and she can afford to ditch one.
It could be the case.
And we got Norris on the mask. Norris wears the old school mask.
He's taking a beat tonight.
Remember, he got one on the shoulder, this one on the mask.
He's feeling like a little brother right now. It has been that kind of a night. Trade my brother to meet Hunter, or we'll trade my sister to meet Buster. So he got even with her.
Line drive, base hit, past Van Riesler. So Duffy's going to hit with 2 outs and a runner on.
Oh, he waited well with that curveball. he saw this early. Foot goes down early, boom, in good position, right back up the middle. He just defends the strike zone well. Not a lot of stride.
Duffy's 0 for 2. He struck out and then he hit a line drive to Kemp in right field. Buster Posey on deck. And a high breaking ball. And it's 1-0. One ball and one strike.
I mean, that's the kind of location that you see Duffy go to right field a lot, especially the runner at first base. That hole on the right side of the infield looks like the on-ramp to the freeway to him.
Get up the middle of the base hit. So Posey is going to hit. Darren Balsley is going to come out.
I think his message is going to be simple. Quit getting beat with the curveball up. Second hitter in a row, he hangs a breaking ball up in the strike zone. And for the second time, a Giants hitter goes right back up the middle with it. Darren Balsley really has done a great job here for many years as the pitching coach for the Padres. You know you've arrived as a coach when you outlast a manager.
Sometimes you outlast more than one manager.
Yeah. Ian Kennedy and how he uses his pitches, 63% of the time you're going to see that fastball, and he'll throw both grips, the 4-seam and the 2-seam. But the slider, the curveball, the changeup, I mean, it's equal. Whatever's working, I mean, that's what he's going to go with. The curveballs, league's hitting 309 against him, and you saw the last two that got hit. You can see why. And he makes mistakes with it. He makes them up, and they get hit.
So from the Giants standpoint, they got the right guy up. Not only is he hot, but he hits Kennedy well. He is 0 for 2 in this game.
Perfect location on the 1-0 fastball, taking out that knee-high part of the strike zone on the outside corner.
To right field. Kemp, a long run. Kemp's not going to get it. And a good effort by Kemp, and in the eyes of Kennedy, it's just a strike, and it's 1-2.
He was playing over a few steps towards right center, and he wasn't actually straight away at right field prior to the pitch, so he had to go a long way. And even at that, he made it close.
Panic the tying run at second. It's 1-2 to Buster Posey. Nope, 2-2.
Trying to go back to that same outside low location he got the first strike with. Just a little bit low, a little bit outside. Did not miss by much.
Well, Norris has got an idea, and so does Kennedy. And now they're going to come up with one idea.
Well, and I think he's also going to remind him that, you know, you've got third base open here. You've got two pitches to just absolutely try and make a perfect pitch. Do not make a mistake in the middle of the strike zone. One thing we know about Posey, I mean, he will guess two strikes. He'll guess a location or he'll guess a speed. He will have a plan.
Base hit. Here comes Panic. Kennedy tried to sneak that fastball inside to Posey. No chance. Game tied.
It's a money hit. 2 strikes, 2 outs, ties the ball game. And you can see the target, and it was right to it. And Posey has just been so locked, staying inside the inside pitch beautifully. With 2 outs, Joe Panic, a great jump, an easy score. And we get a brand new ball game. This is all with 2 outs. So the singles attack offense at it again.
So now Pence can give the Giants the lead. Buster with his 64th RBI. And it's in the dirt. So did you get a text from Eddie Montague?
I did. He was not happy with your comments.
So Eddie and I go back to 1972, and even now we're arguing during a baseball game.
Well, he just says it's stank guys coming at you.
In the dirt, it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Eddie Montague, who was an umpire for a long time.
Can you kick me out of the broadcast booth?
He could try.
He could try, but then I still can get the last word in, right?
I think you did.
I'll get the last word in. Eddie, I love you, baby.
Yes, you do.
2 balls, 1 strike. Now it's 2-2.
He was not looking fastball 1-0. He was not looking fastball 2-1.
Out of play.
And you would think with 2 outs that there is an open base at third base, but if you look at the history that the guy on deck, Brandon Belt, has against Ian Kennedy, I don't think Kennedy wants to load the bases up to him. Hunter Pence against Kennedy prior to this game, lifetime .231 hitter. Brandon Belt, .323 hitter with a couple of home runs, a triple, and a couple doubles. So Belt has had ownage.
Field line. Now, the last time Norris and Kennedy had a meeting, it worked out in favor of the Giants.
Well, Clint Fagan, the plate umpire, is hot on the trail, trying to break up this rock pile.
Good speed at second with Duffy. Hunter Pence, if they keep throwing Hunter Pence fastballs away, he's going to do that all night. He hit a home run the other night on a fastball, not in, but up and in.
Tied the score in the 7th inning.
And he hit it to right field of all places. So it stays 2-2. This will be visit number 2 in this at bat and number 3 in the inning.
A lot of booing going on. I don't know if that's the Padres fans. More than likely it's the Giants fans. Gives you an idea how many are here in attendance.
Part of the group that is booing is Dave Fleming. It's one of his pet peeves. When he becomes commissioner, he's going to limit the visits to the mound. It's 2-2. On the ground to just off. And that's going to end the inning. Stayed away, but this time he threw Pence a breaking ball. So Buster with the base hit to knock in Panic. This all happened after 2 outs and nobody on. It's 2-2. Pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Bumgarner says, well, whatever he's looking for, you have to throw something else. That's how you get him out. Giants did a pretty good job against Goldschmidt. They kept him in the park in that 3-game series. Think about that series. The Giants won 3 games. They hit 2 home runs. But they banged out some singles in 1 game. Wide to Solarte.
And there were some articles written about it, you know, almost criticizing the fact that they were all singles. But singles knock in runs.
They hurt. You put enough of them together, they're going to hurt you. Up the middle, and that's going to be just a C-9 ground ball, base hit.
Well, fans, check out the Yard, a pop-up shipping container village across McCovey Cove at the corner of 3rd and Terry Francois Boulevard. There are plenty of local food and drink establishments from Off the Grid, Pete's Coffee, and the Anchor Beer Garden. Shop the North Face and SF Made stores. It's open 7 days a week. For more information or to book your pregame tailgate at the Yard, visit sfgiants.com/theyard.
So here's Amarista.
It is very cool.
Amarista shows bunt, and the pitch is high.
Some activity in the Giants bullpen. I'm not sure that there is concern in the Giants dugout because of the pitches that Hudson has thrown and where they are in the lineup. The leadoff hitter would be why they phoned down to get Yusmeiro Petit up. And this is a red alert. This is get ready to go quick.
And at Venise. Well, it's 90 pitches.
Well, and a lot of them down the stretch. Every odd inning, first, third, and now the fifth. I mean, he has put himself in the stretch early in the inning.
That'll put runners at the corners. And Hudson looking for a shutdown inning. And the Padres in business. Amarista's hitting .207. Somebody's getting him out.
Well, tonight it has not been the Giants. He has walked twice and he has just singled for a perfect evening. Abergetti going to come out and take the slow walk out to the mound to make sure that Petit is good and loose.
This meeting on the mound brought to you by Ring Central, a leader in communication.
And if you're Righetti, you just wait for the umpire to come out and get you. And here comes Clint Fagan now.
So runners at the corners. I guess at this point, you do what you can to keep that runner from scoring at third, but you also do what you can to limit the damage. Kemp is lined out to center field, and he's homered. Giants are not playing the infield in. Panik is playing right behind second base. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, that's a perfect slider to open up the at-bat right there knee-high outside corner. You can see the alignment. Enormous hole on the right side of the infield. And Kemp is a guy that can go that way. I mean, as hot as he is, the hotter he gets, the better back control he has.
Hudson said, well, I'm going to go a little further out. Let's see what happens. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, he's pitching for the strikeout right here. I mean, they would take a double play and give up a run just to stay out of a big inning, but in his mind, he's trying to strike him out.
Balls in a strike.
And the one thing we do know about Kemp is that he wants to swing the bat when there's runners on and in scoring position.
One pitch, here it is to Kemp, and it's 3-1. Nobody out.
Petit is ready if needed.
Hudson looking in. And away. Yeah, you could see what he was doing. He was trying to make the perfect pitch. And in doing so, the walk loads the bases. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. We'll be back.
Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, the Giants were looking for a shutdown inning after they tied it up. It's 2-2, and right now they are in dire straits. The bases are loaded with nobody out, and they're going to put it in the hands of that man, Yasmero Petit.
And this is what he has done. 25th game that he's been in, 1-1 with a 4.38 ERA. Petit 31 strikeouts against 11 walks, and this is why you could bring him into a bases loaded situation. He is a strike thrower. High 80s. He will cut, sink the fastball, mostly cut. It's got a little nickel slider, but it's a downward bite. It's a good one. And when he's on, he will paint corners. The line for Hudson, 4+ innings, 5 hits allowed. He's responsible for all 3 of the runners on base.
Jerko is 0 for 2. He's 0 for 8 lifetime. Solarte, Amarista, and Kemp are your base runners. You got to come in.
You're right. You have to challenge that strike zone here. And here's where you need to get lucky, because Jerko will lay in the bushes. Look for one pitch, one speed, one location, and he's got power.
Taps it foul. It's 2 balls and a strike. Nothing is better for a hitter than a 2-0 count with the bases loaded and nobody out. Deck is Yonder Alonso. Got to come in. Well, whatever it was, Mike, it was at 85 miles an hour.
Little cutter. It's a little movement about the length of a pencil. Runs flat away from the right-handed hitter. And I got to believe there's a lot of motion out there tonight on the mound in the mind of Yusmeiro Petit, his buddy. Gene Machi was designated earlier before the game.
Well, a challenge, and he's got to do it, and Jerko fouled it out of play.
Well, he has not thrown the slider, and that is his best strikeout pitch.
So 3-2. In the park, Blanco is going to catch and throw. Solarte tagging, and it is not in time. So Jerko with a sacrifice fly, and it's 3-2.
Good at bat from Jed Jerko, and especially to do it in a 2-strike count. And the heroes welcome back at the Padres bench.
So here's Alonso. Alonso doubled into right center field in the 3rd inning. That's right. You got to keep an eye on Amarista. He was starting to get happy feet at second base.
Oh, he's sneaky. And if you're not paying attention, and if you're giving him one look, and that's all you're doing is giving him something he can time your look, he'll steal on you. Posey going to come out and say, hey, dude, what is that pitch you're throwing?
Yeah, I'm calling for something, and that's not it.
A wee bit low, perhaps. Definitely one you want when you've got your back against the wall, as Petit does now. I mean, he's a fly ball strikeout guy. It's not that he can't get ground balls, but more of a fly ball guy than a ground ball guy. Getting pinched. And Alonso will pull the trigger. 3-0. Same pitch.
Three balls and one strike. Amarista at second. Kemp at first. And a base hit. They'll have to hold Amarista. And now the bases are loaded again. Well, you fall behind. Eventually, the hitter's going to get something to hit.
Now, that's the whole point about having to come in when the guy knows you're going to challenge that strike zone. I mean, it really increases his opportunity to hit the ball hard. And Alonso, to his credit, did just that.
Norris is bounced out and popped out. Still a tight game, and the Giants trying to keep it that way. But the Padres keep loading the bases. Foul back, and that was a home run ripped at 0-1. Laying in the bushes was Norris.
Straight away defensively. Slider has not been the strength of Derek Norris tonight. Another swing through.
Amarista at third. Kemp at second. Alonso at first.
Trying to zip him with a little fastball. I don't think he had any intention to get close to the strike zone with him. I think he wants to finish him off with a slider.
Got him.
Fastball at 90, and that's about where he tops out in velocity, and they get the call. Derek Norris not happy, and I can see why. Giants get a gift.
So here's Venable. Venable is struck out and bounced out. He's 3 for 12. Lifetime against Petit. He does have a couple of home runs off of Petit. It's blocked by Buster Posey, and it's 1-0.
Any block with a runner at third base is a good block.
So it's taken a couple of pitches for Petit to look like he's into a decent rhythm.
Now he's nailing corner locations right now. Jerko is the man that put the Padres ahead with a nice 2-strike sac fly.
Well, bases loaded, nobody out. Giants would be happy with that. That foul, 1-2.
You're right. If they could get out of this inning, giving up the one, they would be thrilled, given the set of circumstances that Petit came into this game. Bases loaded, nobody out. Trying to pick up his teammate, Tim Hudson.
Buster Posey asked for it up in the zone. Whether he wanted it to be a strike, I doubt it. It's 2-2.
He wanted to elevate above the letters. Venable will swing at that pitch up there. I mean, he will chase above. He's also got a weakness at the back foot with hard sliders.
Up the middle, slowed down. Crawford's going to go to first. Nice play, and that'll end the inning. Oh, great to have him out there.
Oh.
The damage, a run, 3-2 Padres. For tomorrow night, Adrisamer Despaigne will be on the hill for the Padres. Chris Heston for the Giants. See what Heston's done. He's been terrific. Despaigne is getting hit by some people, but he's always pitched well against the Giants. And the coverage is going to begin at 6:30 here on CSN Bay Area. So here's Belt. It's a 3-2 lead now for the Padres. Belt, Crawford, Blanco. 3 left-handed hitters against Kennedy, who just threw pitch number 83.
Now there is activity in the Padre bullpen. Kevin Quackenbush, all right-handed bullpen for the Padres. There are no lefties down there. Unless they snuck one in that we don't know about.
Low to Belt. Belt with a bunt single in the second. There's a Giraffe fan, a Brandon Belt fan, and with that bunt base hit, now Solarte really can't be part of how they want to do the overshift. They would prefer for Solarte to be more at the shortstop position, and maybe he'll move over there now. But the bunt by Belt definitely got the Padres' attention defensively.
Challenge at 91 miles per hour. And you had to believe he was sitting on a fastball. From Kennedy's perspective, he's thinking, wow, I just threw one right by him. I could do it again.
Knocked him up. And Solarte makes.
Well, the Brewers make their one and only appearance at AT&T next homestand, July 27th through the 29th. And Monday and Tuesday are both 7:15 games, and that Wednesday, July 29th game is baseball in the city, day baseball with a 12:45 start. You need tickets, go to Brewers Giants games. Get your tickets at sfgiants.com/tickets.
Crawford is 0 for 2. Fouls it out of play. Ryan Olson getting loose. Terrific job in his last outing in relief. Extra innings in Arizona Friday night. Crawford out of play, 0-2. Crawford is leaning a little bit, having a hard time staying back. Down the left field line. Fowler. He might have had home run distance on that. Oh, 2. Crawford waiting patiently. Kennedy now ready. Down and in. 1-2.
Good pitch. Good take.
Crawford's aboard.
That's a mistake from Kennedy. Came back with another breaking ball, trying to go back foot, not literally, and I think it just clipped the front leg of Crawford. Maybe his ankle, maybe it hit him right on the protective piece. Let's see where it got him. Yeah, hey, it's the first time I've ever seen one of those pieces work.
I know, I'll take it. Here's Blanco. Blanco homered in the 3rd, then struck out in the 4th. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Quackenbush has stopped throwing in that Padre bullpen. He's ready to go.
He is watching the action, and the action is 1-0 to Blanco. 2 balls and no strikes. Norris is going to have a word.
I don't get this. I really don't. It's not like they're changing the signs.
Maybe to give Kennedy a breather. He's thrown 95 pitches. And the name like Quackenbush, I would expect exactly the facial hair that he's got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quackenbush.
Bushy.
Shaven? Nah. 2 balls, no strikes. Blanco. Out of play. 2-1. Kennedy's emptying the gas can right now.
Yeah, this could be his last thing no matter what. So he's airing it out.
And a bunt. And they're going to call it fair. And that's 1. And now they're going to call it foul.
And that's good.
And that was overruled by Greg Gibson. Pat Murphy's going to come out. I didn't think it was fair from the beginning, did you?
No, I did not. And all Murphy wants to find out is, wait a second.
Well, yeah, whose call is it? Well, it doesn't matter whose call is it. You got to get the call right.
It hits behind home plate. that's a foul ball.
Well, did it hit that bat again?
No. No, but it's a foul ball.
No, it clearly didn't hit the bat. So it's 2-2. He being Kennedy struck out Blanco on a high fastball in the 4th inning, and he tried to go up there again.
And they set that fastball up, though. I mean, every pitch he threw in the at-bat, and I think it was 3 curveballs, they got to the 1-2 count, set that high fastball up out of the strike zone. He took advantage of it. And he has not set up the fastball in this particular at-bat. Next pitch will be 99.
So we're going to see another 2-2 pitch. Three and 2. Walker took that like he knew it was coming.
It's a great pitch, though. I mean, that's exactly what he could do in a 2-2 count. I mean, that's a pretty good teaser. Big curveball, hard snapper.
Well, he may go back to the high fastball again. See if Crawford goes. We'll let you know.
Norris wants a changeup.
Crawford goes. Got him. Double play. And that's how it goes here in the 6th.
Is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Log on to csnbayarea.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting with breaking news, video, special features, and more only on csnbayarea.com. 3-2 lead for the Padres. Upton to lead things off. He's 0 for 2.
Melvin Upton, formerly known as BJ.
Bunts a line drive foul, and it's 0-1.
So, formerly known as BJ, and now he's chosen his given name, Melvin Jr. You say, what does the BJ stand for? Well, it stood for Bossman Jr. BJ.
No balls and 1 strike. Kennedy on deck. One-time big talent for the Tampa Bay Rays. There's a high changeup or breaking ball. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 6th. High and foul and out of play.
That was not that far away from the happy zone. You got to steer clear of. Middle end, knee high, and about 8 inches above. That's the spot. And he's also a hitter that you could throw a pitch to him 6 different times, 6 different. I mean, in the exact same location, he'll swing through it 6 different times, and the 7th time you come in there, he'll hit it out of the ballpark.
Foul back. It stays at 2-2.
I mean, he has serious power. Does not lack for bat speed.
Teed unhappy with that pitch. It's 3-2. This one into the gap, and it's going to get by the diving Pagan, and this is going to be a triple. Well, Pagan did his best to try to keep that ball from getting by him, and all of a sudden now you got Upton at third base.
That's exactly what Pagan was thinking. Even if he doesn't cut that ball off at the speed that Upton has, it's going to be a 3-bagger. And to open up an inning and start it off with a 3-bagger, I mean, that extra 90 feet is a big 90 feet.
So here's Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks hitting for Kennedy. And a foul back, and it's 0-1. Brooks waits, and a strike. Good pitch from Petit. It's now another than 2.
O'Connor, you can't put it in a better location.
Tried to stretch it out. He did. It's 1-2. Top of the order, Solarte on deck. Little pop-up is straight back and out of play, so we'll reset and do it again.
Just trying to strike him out. That's the situation. I mean, he'll take a pop-up or comebacker. He'll take any non-productive out he can find right now. But in his mind, he's just trying to strike him out. He's showing you how he tries to do it when he has to do it. Everything in this at bat has gone away. The inside corner is wide open should they try to go in there. Curveball and a good one. And he does indeed get the strikeout he was pitching for. Pushes right off the table, off the plate away, and gets him to chase.
So here's Solarte, and now the infield coming in as it was. I'm sure Bruce Bochy would like to stay away from a couple of guys in that bullpen. Number one would be Strickland. Strickland pitched in every game in that series. This is hit up the middle on a base hit. And with the drawn in infield, Solarte knocks in Upton, and it's 4-2.
That's a 3-hit night for Solarte. Jumping on the first pitch.
Solarte with his third hit. And here's Amarista.
Challenge fastball, looking for it, going right back up the middle, and I think Solarte was gearing up towards the middle. Not getting too greedy. Nice at bat.
Well, he did that in the 5th inning to open things up. Amarisa's been on base 3 times.
6 hits, 2 runs per game, 6 strikeouts.
One 1-0 to Amarista. Solarte goes, swinging a high pop-up into shallow left field. Blanco with his speed is going to get there. 2 outs, and here's Kemp. Kemp hit a home run into right center field in the 3rd.
Well, an impressive swing of the bat. Got a fastball coming into him, and inside outs it over the wall in right center. And impressive for a right-hander to take on this part of the yard and knock it over the fence.
Kemp 6 for 26. He does have a couple of home runs off of Petit. This will be pitch number 39 coming up for Petit.
Pitch count really not an issue till you get about 60 pitches with Petit. If you're a long man, you need to have enough pitches in your arm to go through a line of 3 innings.
And he gets the ball.
That's the location in this at bat that has just been inconsistent. The very first pitch of the at bat was better than this one. And the first pitch of the bat, he called a ball. You can understand the confusion with Petit and now in the mind of Kemp to that location.
Into right field, that'll be a base hit. Solarte will move to third, and they're going to throw back. They got him! Wow. Great play. Crawford to Belt, and Kemp rounded second. Or make that rounded first. And the Padres obviously are going to take a look at it.
His momentum coming to the play. He makes a snap decision and a snap throw. And a great tag from Belt. And the Padres will not contest.
A run here in the 6th, 7th inning coming up. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Hudson and Kennedy, those were your starters. Kennedy with 2 earned runs. He threw 100 pitches. Kemp's got a home run. Blanco's got a home run. And right now the Padres lead 4-2. The thing that hopefully does not go unnoticed in this game is the defensive play tonight by Brandon Crawford. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. Mauer to Adrianza and a swing and a miss.
Saw the numbers for Mauer. It's the 45th time that he has come into a ball game. That is the most of any of the Padre pitchers, and it does rank him in the top 10 in the league. He is a workhorse. And that hard slider that's his go-to pitch. He's a hard thrower. I mean, you can see mid to even to time high 90s.
Outside to Adrianza. Got him. And that'll bring up Pagan. Bit of an overmatch.
Mauer had a really nice year going. I mean, I think perhaps the last 6 or so appearances that he's had, he's given up runs in 4 of them. And I think the workload has caught up to him a little bit, but I do believe he definitely benefited from the All-Star break.
Pagan is 1 for 3. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
For the Padres, this is game number 93, and as we mentioned before, 45 appearances from Mauer. He's been in half of them. That's a lot of work. Vogelsong continues his warm-ups. He'll pitch the next inning. That's one thing about Bruce Bochy. Everywhere he's gone, he's had good bullpens. He's never had a guy in his bullpen rank in the top 10 in the National League in appearances.
2 balls and 1 strike.
He just does not burn guys out.
Pagan pops it out of play, so it's 2-2. On deck is Joe Panik. Giants trail by 2. Outside, it's 3-2. A little nifty 96 from Brandon Maurer. You see Larry Bear. And Pagan out swinging.
It's a nasty slider, folks. Take a look at the play defensively that ended it for the Padres in the 6th inning. This would have set up a 1st and 3rd 2-out scenario, and Brandon Crawford coming in, cutting off the throw from Pence, and just slingshot and a pearl over to Belt. And look at the tag right on the shoulder. And first base umpire Chad Fairchild says, "Yo, Kemp, grab some pine, meat."
Just another assist for Pence and for Crawford. Giants are in this scenario in the 5th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Panik single. Giants eventually scored a run on the Buster Posey base hit. Two 2-0. And a strike. So Maurer comes in.
Changeup. He's more than just a 2-pitch guy. He's got 4 things he'll do with the ball. Along with that fastball slider, he'll throw a curveball occasionally. And as you just saw, a changeup, and he'll throw it behind the count.
And Panik's got another hit.
I recognize that look. That's the look that says, who is this guy?
Here's Duffy. Panik now with 109 hits. Only Gordon and Goldschmidt in front of him. Duffy trying to get Buster Posey to the plate again. He's singled in the 5th. Nice play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Albert Pujols hit 3 home runs today.
Wow.
In that doubleheader. So he passed Mike Schmidt on the all-time home run list.
So is that 27, 28, 29?
He's had a nice season, boy. 1-1 pitch. 1-2. 90-mile-an-hour slider.
I mean, that's as nasty a slider as we've seen.
Back with the fastball at 97, and Duffy fouls it out of play. This is one of those at bats where if you're ever reminded as a young player that you're in the big leagues, this is it.
Well,
you got a 90-mile-an-hour slider, you got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. All right.
Just another day in the big leagues.
Battle the best you can.
Plus, Bauer's got the look of the reliever, too. I think a reliever that throws hard has got to have
A sneer?
a sneer or look half goofy.
Get on the ground to Amarista. This is going to end the inning. Bottom of the 7th coming up. 4-2 Padres. Padres leading. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts. Hey, that looks like Brian Vogelsong.
Take a look at the record. 7-6 with a 4.15. This is his 4th appearance out of the bullpen. And for Vogelsong, 72 strikeouts in 97 2/3 innings. You're going to see a fastball that goes low 90s. Topped out in his last outing Friday night in Arizona. He was throwing 93 miles an hour. Curveball, slider, cutter, changeup, 2 types of fastball. As you would imagine, a guy who's pitched as long as he has, he's got a lot of different movements he can put on the ball.
So it'll be Jerko to lead things off. Jerko is 0 for 2, sacrifice fly in the 5th. First pitch is high from Vogelsong, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and 1 strike. Giants have 6 more outs in this game. Vogelsong's job, keep it at a 2-run deficit. Game 1 of this road trip, the Giants came back late in the game. They'll try to do that again. But time is running out, and they do have Benoit, and they do have that other guy too.
Yep. The other guy, Craig Kimbrell, who has been on fire as a closer of late.
Fouling out of play.
Vogelsong really at age 38 being asked to come out of the bullpen and be the swing man, but I mean, if you could do that role and you're still throwing low 90s with 5 different types of movement, you could pitch into your 40s. It's in great shape. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to accept that assignment, redefine yourself.
Driven to right. Pence is going to play this one off the wall. And Jerko's got a leadoff double. That's his first hit of the night. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD and over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV. Visit MLB.TV for details. Buster's going to go out and have a word with Alonso coming up. That's 10 hits now for the Padres. 10 hits, add 4 walks. So that's 14 base runners through 6+ innings. Alonso's 2 for 2 with a walk. And he takes outside for a ball, 1-0.
But reinventing yourself, I think it's so important in the life of a professional for a pitcher. Because, I mean, for the most part, guys come into the game in your young 20s or mid-20s and you're throwing 95 or whatever. And when you go out at age 35, you're throwing mid-80s, maybe. And there aren't many guys that can make whatever that stuff you have work. Vogelsong, I mean, he really hasn't lost that much. We first saw him come up out of the Giants minor league system, and he was 92, 95 mile an hour guy. He didn't. Back then, he was kind of a fastball curveball guy. He learned 2 types of fastball. He learned a slider, a cutter, a changeup along the way. But to be able to relieve and make a spot start, I mean, that is a commodity. I always think back to the day of Jim Cott, who came up to the big leagues in 1959. He pitched till 1983. But along the way, he redefined himself about 4 different times. He was a classic lefty hard thrower, the big breaking ball when he came up initially. But when he went out, I mean, he was a 1-pitch.
Hit on the ground to Belt. This will get the job done. Jerko will go to third.
Cott didn't have stuff anymore. He kind of a spot, a cutter, and a slider. But he adjusted his rhythm. He was a quick pitch artist, and he was brilliant at it. And he redefined himself. And I mean, he had a great career. I think should be a Hall of Fame career. But the point being, he adjusted the type of pitcher that he was, and it allowed him to stay in the big leagues a long time. And I think Ryan Vogelsong can do that.
Norris is 0 for 3. Hit him. Just grazed his uniform.
Yeah, that's a hit batsman you don't mind. There'll be no ice bag with that one.
Yeah, you don't mind it if you're Norris, but for Vogelsong, now he faces a left-hander.
If you're Vogelsong, you mind. If you hit a guy, you at least want to put a bruise on him.
Plus, here's what just grazed the uniform. Plus, Maximali's has got some ownage on Vogelsong. He's 10 for 28. Giants trying to keep it at a 2-run deficit. But the Padres seem to have runners on base all night. The Padres have gone down 1-2-3 twice. Once in the second, once in the fourth, and it both came with the bottom 3 in the order. A lot of stretch time for Hudson, Petit, and now Vogelsong. There's a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out. Runners at the corners. Panic and Crawford are playing for the double play. Down low. On deck is Upton.
mean, that's a big run at third base. Giants playing that middle infield back.
Vogelsong gets Venable to chase. It's 2-2.
And if you're Vogelsong, I mean, that's what you're pitching for. Strikeout. And you really can't classify him a ground ball guy. I mean, he's got a couple of pitches he can get the ground ball with, but he's not a sinker baller. He's not a guy that you would assume that he's going to get you a ground ball, but he is a guy that can get a strikeout. And that's what he's trying to do right now.
Get on the ground to Belt. Belt's going to go for 2. That's 1. That's 2. And that'll end the inning.
That's genius.
8th inning coming up.
Ground ball. Padres in game 2 of this 3-game series. Pre-game live at 6:30. First pitch 7 o'clock. Right here on CSN Bay Area. Plus complete pre- and post-game coverage. Giants insider Alex Pavlovich will be at csnbayarea.com. The home of the authentic Giants fan is right here in CSN.
4-2 Padres. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up in brake experts.
So Joaquin Benoit, the setup man for the Padres coming in now. This is his 42nd game, 6-4 with a 2.50 ERA. Just 20 hits allowed, 39 2/3 innings. Gives you an idea what type of stuff he has. 37 strikeouts, almost 1 an inning. And you're going to see mid-90s fastball, hard slider, and a changeup. All 3 can strike you out. Go get them.
And it's Buster Posey at the plate. And Buster takes a strike. Buster's never had a hit against Benoit, 0 for 4. Cues this one right off the end of the bat. And Benoit's going to take it himself. 1 out. Stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants post-game live. You get highlights, reaction, and analysis. It's all coming up. Here's Pence. Pence is 0 for 3. Belt is on deck. Swing.
And there is that hard slider from Benoit. wants to throw it again.
This time Pence says, no, I'm not going to take a whack at that.
Well, it's so much easier to take the second one after you've seen the first one. If it's out of the strike zone, especially low.
In tight, 2 balls and 1 strike.
So softballing, 2 breaking balls and a changeup. And this from a guy that throws mid-90s.
All right.
Another changeup. So
he does not want to throw Belt to fastball.
He does not.
I mean, even if he throws a fastball and he hits it out.
No, that's the beauty of a 2-run lead. You do get a mulligan. And there was the fastball. And wouldn't you know it, on a 3-1, he's looking for something else. Ah, the game of chess.
The game of chess.
But you know what? When you're done playing, that's what you miss.
Into center field for Upton. Pence's retired. And here's Belt. Belt is 1 for 2. Trying to reach now for Brandon Crawford. Crawford would represent the tying run. And that pitch is outside for a ball. And now it's a ball and a strike.
Right through him with another fastball. There's the shift. See how shallow Upton plays in center field. Goes back on the ball well, not a problem.
Foul back as that ran in on the hands of Brandon Belt.
Get out of my kitchen.
Get out of there. And don't take my bat, please.
A cut fastball. Bends both arms and just hits it right off the label. If he hits that thing square, that bat is history.
Wrapped into center field. Upton on the move, and he's going to track it down. He can go get him. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 4-2 Padres. to Murph and Mac tomorrow morning. I'll join them on KMBR, and we'll talk about the game on KMBR 680, the sports leader. So Vogelsong out for his second inning of work, and it'll be Upton to lead things off. Upton tripled and scored in the 6th. And he pops this one up and out of play. And the next pitch is down low.
Justin Upton not available today because of an oblique problem.
And, you know, maybe not available in this series.
Pretty cool, though, that the Uptons got to play together in Atlanta and now here again in San Diego.
Dumps this one to right, and it's foul.
Well, I see Uptons, you know, both outfielders. Justin plays left field. BJ Melvin plays center. It's kind of cool to look over and see your brother standing next to you in the outfield. These next 11 days in baseball are so many rumors that are flying around. It's spin your head, especially if your name is one of the names that constantly gets referred to, involved in a trade somewhere around, and Justin Upton has been that guy. He's been mentioned in a lot of possible trades. And when he wasn't in Atlanta today, a lot of the writers were just, they were in a fury, anticipating what that might mean.
Got him.
And 2-mile out of fastball. See you later. Well, a reminder to check out the Hyundai Sportsnet Central after postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. You'll get reactions in the Giants clubhouse about this ball game, and Alex Pavlovich will also go over his postgame notes. And oh, by the way, the final round of the Open, the British Open, was held today, and there is a winner, and it is an American. You can find all that information and more.
So here's Brett Wallace. Tried to watch as much of that as I could.
It was pretty amazing.
Some people work.
It was just 3 days on my assignment.
Two balls and no strikes to Wallace. Duffy way off the line at third. In shallow right field is Panic. And that is inside. Vogelsong, a little body language, meaning he might have disagreed.
Well, he threw it away from the target. Umpires don't give a pitch that's on a corner if it's outside the knees.
There's a strike. Kimball was up. Now he's just taking a breather. 3-1. Up the middle. And, oh, by the way, Crawford is there. He's everywhere.
Right into the shift. And indeed, it seems like he has been everywhere tonight.
So here's Solarte. Solarte has been a pain today. 3 for 4. Crawford made a very nice play to throw him out for the only time he has made him out. Ogason working in his second inning for the Giants in the 9th. They'll have Crawford, Blanco, and then a pinch hitter. A one hopper to Panic, and that'll end it. So here comes the 9th. Kimbrel's coming in. 4-2. Padres.
Go back in the 3rd inning. Giants ahead 1-0, and Tim Hudson throws a fastball in on Matt Kemp, and Kemp, who has been red hot, puts it right over the wall. A 2-run shot. That was the difference in the ball game, as the Padres have never given up the lead again. And that is our player of the game, brought to you by Honda. (4-2) Padres as we go to the top of the 9th. New pitcher now for San Diego will be Craig Kimbrel, their closer, and look at how good he has been. 25 saves and 26 opportunities, 52 strikeouts, and 35 1/3. How does he do it? Well, a fastball that's mid to high 90s and a curveball, kind of a low 3/4 swing, and he will stalk you when you get in that batter's box.
So here's Crawford. Crawford's job is to get on base. And Jerko with a nice backhanded play, and they got him.
You've seen some
So
pretty
hard
good
enough
plays
to get a base runner on against Kimbrel, but Jerko helped him out a bit.
Take a look at how Kimbrel uses his pitches. You're going to see a lot of fastballs. And the league hit 258 off that fastball. The curveball, however, hitting a $135. A 2-pitch guy, go get him.
So here's Blanco after Sanchez is on deck. the ground to Jerko. So here's Sanchez. Sanchez returning to the big leagues with Sushak going on the DL. Sanchez was hitting .280 in Sacramento. And on the first pitch, this is hit out to Upton, and that's the ball game. So game one in this three-game series goes to the Padres. The Giants snapped their 6-game winning streak. The Padres now have won 5 straight. So tomorrow, guys will try to beat these Padres with Chris Heston on the mound.
Well, and old nemesis again is the difference in this game. Ian Kennedy, 11-5 lifetime against the Giants. He was fantastic tonight.
So Hudson coming off the DL takes a loss. Kennedy the win. Final score: Padres 4, Giants 2. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That's going to start right after these messages.